Hey guys, what's going on? It's me again. It's the original gamer Stevie Stroh, and we are back for another chapter in programming and basic on the color computer. We're going to jump into chapter 16, which is called the silver screen. But before we do that, I thought I would just take a moment here to reflect on this interesting journey. And as it turns out, so number one, all of these videos are on my YouTube channel in a playlist. It's called Programming and Basic, right? So there's like right now there's 20 videos in here, and there's going to be more, right? So I've tried to organize these things, and I've labeled them by the name of the chapter, the topic of the chapter, etc., etc. So they're all here on my YouTube page. If you go over here to my home page, and of course now it's taking 2 hours to load, and you scroll down here to where it says color computer stuff. I got a lot of color computer stuff here, all organized by different playlists. And then if you click on programming and basic, boom, here you go, right? So here's the playlist of all the chapters I've recorded so far. So this has been an interesting journey, and let's look at the first video I recorded. This was done November 16th of 2015. So right now it's April 10th in 2017. So this means I did this in November of 2015, which means that all of 2016 has gone by, which is a year, and 4 months of this thing has gone by, which is 17 months ago is when I did my first video. Which is kind of bad now because it means I've really wasted a lot of time. I really fell off the wagon with this, but we're back on the wagon. But when I did this, I'm not even sure why I did this originally. I'm trying to remember. I think the reason why, well, I kind of know some of the reasons, right? Because I wanted to program again, right? And so I figured, and I could probably read this book in a weekend, and I could start programming, and I could just do that. But I thought it would be interesting that if somebody who's never programmed before, they might think this is a cool thing to learn, because when I was a kid, this was cool for me to learn. And my thought at the time was, because I do have a lot of kids who watch my videos, like my Minecraft videos and things like that, I figured there's a lot of young people today who probably have never even considered using a computer. So maybe some of them might look at one of these videos and say, well, that's kind of interesting. Let me see what I can do. And so I set this whole thing up in a way that literally anybody should be able to do this at home. So I based it on an emulator called VCC, the Virtual Color Computer 3, that is very easy to install and download, assuming you're running Windows. It's plug and play. There's not a lot of crazy configuration. I based it on a PDF copy of the manual that I found on the Color Computer Archive, so anybody could get this book and read the book along and do this themselves. Matter of fact, if somebody started this 17 months ago, hopefully they weren't waiting for me and they finished it by now. But my idea was, if I'm going to do this, let me do it in a way where I can document the process and share the process, and that way maybe somebody else might enjoy this. And I honestly had no idea who would want to watch this. Like, this was my introduction video, but look at this, 1,000 people watch this video. That kind of blows my mind. Chapter 1 got 558 views. That kind of blows my mind. Some of the early comments I got back then were from Roger Wilco and Jim Gary. Jim Gary, a completely prolific programmer on the MC10 and the CoCo. T-Turbo 128 left a comment 6 months ago. Max Jackson, right? So 558 views on Chapter 1 is pretty good. Chapter 2 got 324 views, and that one it took a month or two for me to get back to it, but I did get back to it. Curtis Boyle has been commenting a lot. Scott Haley commented on here. Dennis Wojciechnian, Max Jackson again, James Ross, who's been commenting on stuff on my channels for a long time. So yeah, 324 views. So these are pretty good. Chapter 3 had 134 views on Chapter 4, 108 views on my first custom game I wrote. Wrote a game, kind of went off book. Curtis Boyle's been along for the ride. So it's been a really interesting journey as I do this. And again, I thought it might be cool for a kid that might want to do this. I wasn't sure who would watch this, and the new ones I've posted now that have only been up for like a week, they've all gotten like 50 views on average, which is pretty interesting. And the people who are watching it are people who, a lot of them are grown-ups, and I didn't think anybody you know, over the age of like, you know, 12 or 14 or something might even find this interesting. It's really hard to, it's impossible for me to know what people like or what people are going to like. So I'm kind of blown away by that. I'm kind of like overwhelmed by that. So I just thought that was kind of cool. I just wanted to share that because I thought, you know, this has been an interesting journey. Learning how to program in BASIC was, you know, really got me interested in technology, got me interested in computers, expanded my mind into being creative and making games and making graphics and animation and music. I had a lot of fun on my color computer. So I do want to share a lot of those memories, and I want to share that journey of kind of rediscovery that I'm going through right now. And so we're moving on now to chapter 16. And the other part too was I figured because I have a gaming channel and people watch me play games, that it might be interesting if we make our own game together. And so I figured at the end of this, when I learned all the tools and I learned all the commands and basically relearned them, that then I would put all these ideas together and come up with the idea for a game. So if somebody was kind of following me with this and watching these videos every week or whenever I was planning on releasing them, hopefully by the end of this we'd all have these ideas. Well, based on this command, maybe we can do this and make a game that does that, you know. And so those were some of my original ideas. A lot of time has passed. A lot of other things have kind of occupied my time and interests, but I'm back here. I'm inspired to get back into programming because I see what a lot of people are doing in the color computer right now, and I want to work my way up to being able to do that kind of stuff too. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Original Gamer Stevie Stroh, and I just want to let you know that I have merchandise available at my website right down here called ogsteviestroh.com. What kind of merchandise do I have? Well, you can get yourself a DVD kind of like this. This here is my DVD from 2016. This is the CoCo Fest 25th anniversary color computer gaming DVD. What else can you get on that website? Well, you can get yourself a DVD like this. This here is my brand new DVD for 2017. This is my CoCo Fest 26th anniversary DVD featuring 13 gameplay videos and over 3 hours of, or at least maybe 2 hours of, you know, gameplay goodness. Well, for a limited time anyways too, you can get yourself the 2017 version of Popstar Pilot on my website by going to ogsteviestroh.com. And this is the new edition that will be available for sale this year at CoCo Fest in April of 2017. You can get yourself one of these here, right here too, from my website, ogsteviestroh.com. And you can also get yourself a really cool retro swag shirt like this that says Original Gamer. You can get the insert coin logo. You can get the I'm a Cocoa Nut. You can get some Atari 2600. You can get all kinds of retro images on a t-shirt or a coffee mug. It's all good stuff and it's great merchandise, and I'd really appreciate it if you go to my website right here, ogsteviestroh.com. Click on the link for merchandise. Check out what we got. Get yourself some today. All right, people. So we're now on chapter 16, which is called The Silver Screen. Let's get the page a little bit bigger here. So chapter 16 is called The Silver Screen. Are you ready to find out about another statement? If so, turn down the lights and butter the popcorn, because we're about to raise the curtain on the silver screen. Now, a word about video memory. Whenever you want to display an image on your TV, the computer stores the screen image in video memory. The computer's TV circuitry then reads the screen image and displays it on your TV. So normal video memory is large enough for text, meaning letters and numbers, but not for graphics, circles, lines, boxes, and so on. So consequently, your computer has two video memories. It has one for text and one for graphics. So there's a text screen and there's a graphic screen. So we are now going to learn about this little program here that they're calling Light the Silver Screen. Take a look at our lines program for a second and concentrate on the screen statement in line 20. So line 5 said P mode 1,1. Line 10 said PCLS. Line 20 said screen 1,1. And it says here that the screen command tells your computer to display the screen, to display a screen image on your TV. What kind of screen it displays depends on the instructions you give it. So first, tell your computer whether to use the TV screen for text or for graphics. Second, tell your computer what color set to use. So the screen 1, if it did a screen 0, it would be text. If I did a screen 1, it would be graphics. And there's a comma, then there's another number, and then that's either a 0 or a 1, depending on which 2 color modes or which 2 color palette options you choose from here. Screen type, comma, color set is the syntax for this command. So type is 0 for text, 1 for graphics. Your color set is 0 or 1. Note if type or color set is a positive number greater than 1, your computer uses 1. So if you said screen 2, 2, it would translate that to 1, 1. So in the lines program, change line 20 to this. Now, I think I have to load that program back in. I think that one was just called X, right? So I'm going to load in my X program, which I saved to a floppy. Here's my program. So now it's saying in line 20, change the thing to say screen 0, 0. So I'm going to say 20, screen 0, 0. And I'm going to run it. And guess what we don't see? We don't see the graphics. Why? Because the graphics are being drawn on graphics memory, which is on screen 1, and we've told the computer to display screen memory, which is screen 0. And this was also another trick we often did, or I often did, I'm sure other kids did too, but a lot of times you would just put a little text on the screen, a little bit of information, and then in the background you would be drawing in your pictures and painting them in and designing your screen, and then you could run the screen command to turn it on and present it to people when it's done. That way you didn't have to watch all the dirty work of everything being constructed. And so it was often a thing that I would do to kind of disguise the process and not let people see what my program was doing to generate the graphics until it was finished, and then you saw the screen I wanted you to see. So I just, in line 20 here, I said change my screen to 0. Now let me just show you one other thing here. And if I say 20, screen 0, 1, and I run it, I now have this kind of peach color. This was an interesting way to change the text mode in our text screen. Our text screen technically had 2 modes too. There was a green background with black text. Or technically it wasn't really black text, it was light green background, dark green text. And then if I did screen 0, 1, it was kind of a peach or pink or whatever color here with a, not quite black, but kind of like a dark red foreground color. And you could change this screen color mode in text mode as well. However, the minute I hit break, it automatically went back to the green mode. So that screen mode was something you could turn on, but you had to keep it on in your program. The minute you went back into your normal command prompt type thing here in BASIC, the screen would turn back to the default colors. Now, I do seem to recall back in the day, there were these commands which we haven't gotten to yet that are called poke. And there was ways to poke things into the memory to change this and turn this on and have it stay on. So I remember doing those. I don't remember what that poke command is right now. But what they were showing us here was basically showing us how if I change the screen mode to 0, I'm actually telling my computer to display a text screen. Now it's telling me to go back to line 20, and this time it's saying screen 1, 0. If you recall, originally this said screen 1, 1, and the 1 was the high mode, which had the white or buff with the purple, magenta, all that kind of crap, right? So when I run this now, that same program, instead of it being a white background with orange stuff, it is now a green background with red stuff because I chose color set 0. And here in the book it says if you do color set 0, your colors are green as your background, then you have yellow, blue, and red. Red is the highest color, so your high order color would be red. If you do color set 1, you have buff or white as your background, and then you have cyan, magenta, which is kind of purple, and orange. Those are your different color modes. Now, because I'm running this on VCC, what you see here is you see a little white border around here, and that's something that VCC did that a real color computer did not do. Typically in a color computer, in these two graphics modes here, the border around the screen was the same color as the background color. So on this green screen mode here, my border was green, but on the white background screen, my border was white. So VCC, for some reason, shows us a white border that the real color computer did not, for whatever that is worth. Now there's a little sidebar note here. And what does this sidebar note here say? Anytime your program outputs text, meaning the print or input command, the computer automatically performs a screen 0, 0. So if I had graphics up right now, and then I used a print statement to print something to the screen, or if I did an input statement and said, input, what is your name? Those things that would force characters on the screen would automatically force the screen mode as well. And that's something that BASIC was doing. So the BASIC language said, if you're trying to put something on the screen, the only way a person is going to see it is if that screen is visible. So I'm going to automatically flip to that screen. Now it says it performs a screen 0, 0 command in a 2-color mode described in the next chapter. This gives you black and green screen. Okay, so we just talked about the 2 color sets here with the screen command. Now it says, do it yourself. Do you understand screen? If you do, write a program that switches from text screen to graphic screen. You might want to put a loop in the program so that it changes the color set after it loops through the program. That way you can see all of the screen features at work. So what are they asking us to do here? They're asking us to switch the screen modes. So let's do this. I'm going to do a line 1 and say CLS. Line 2, I'm going to say print, quote, this is text. Now, when I run that, it's already gone.
Hi, this is John Linville.
And Neil Blanchard.
We are the CoCo crew. I hope you're enjoying watching Stevie Stroh play video games, especially the CoCo games. And when you're done with that, check out our podcast at CoCoCrew.org.
So when I ran that program, my text is already gone. Now, when I hit break, you can see that it's back on the screen now because text stays on screen 0. If you print the text first and then you switch to a graphic screen, it will not erase the text because they're 2 different pages and 2 different areas of memory. There's text memory and there's graphics memory. So what the DoItYourself program is asking us to do is to change the modes. And so right now line 40 is looping to itself. Let's use a go sub for a delay. So I'm going to say line 500 for delay equals 1 to 500. 1 to 500. Next D for delay, colon, return. So now on line 40, I'm going to say screen. Actually, let's get rid of line 20 completely. On line 20, we're going to get, well, we kind of have to. No, actually, I kind of don't. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of line 20. Let's list this out here. Again, just typed in 20, hit enter, got rid of it. Okay. So now in line 40, we're going to go through our different screen modes. So I'm going to say 40 is going to say screen 0, 0, colon, go sub 500. Line 50 is going to say screen 0, 1, go sub 500. Okay, line 60 is going to say screen 1, 0, which is graphics, go sub 500. Line 70 is going to say screen 1, 1, colon, go sub 500. Line 80 is going to go back to 40. Let's list it out, see if I got this right here. So we start off by printing something on the screen. We're going to say this is text. Then we set the P mode. We set the page mode, which I think we're going to talk about shortly, to P mode 1, which is a low resolution screen. Then we do a PCLS, which clears the screen. Then we draw our 2 lines, which draws our X. Now, once we've drawn the lines, I haven't set the screen mode yet. So even though I turned on P mode and I told it to draw the lines, I hadn't used the screen command to switch to that screen. So line 40 starts off on screen 0, which is text. On color mode 0, which is green background, it go subs line 500, which pauses to the count of 500. Line 50 stays in text mode and then goes into the high color, which is the orange background, peach, whatever you want to call it. Line 60 goes to our screen 1, which is now switches over to graphics, comma 0, which is the low colors, which is your green, yellow, and blue. Go sub 500, pause, line 70, then says I'm going to go from screen 1, comma 1 to the high end of the colors, which is your white, cyan, magenta, orange. Go subs 50, which is a pause to the count of 500. Line 80 goes back to 40, and it's going to keep cycling through these modes. So let's try that right now. This is text. This is text. That's the green background. That's the white background. This is text. This is text. That's the green background. That's the white background.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowan. You're watching Stevie Stro, the original gamer.
And this is text. This is text. Green background, white background. So that was the little do-it-yourself program that they asked us to make. So I'm going to save this as color cycles. Call psych. All right, that's what I'm going to save that one as. So, do-it-yourself program. I just did your do-it-yourself program. Now it's saying clearing the screen with the command that's called PCLS. Your lines in your program should look like this. P mode 1, PCLS, screen 1, line 40. Look at line 10. It contains the PCLS command. This statement simply clears the graphic screen. It serves the same function for the graphic screen as CLS does for the text screen. And now it says PCLS space color clears the current graphic screen into a particular color. And then you have from 0 through 8. If you omit the color, the computer clears the screen in whatever your current background color is. And remember, we set the background color by using the color command. It was color foreground, comma, background. And we used the numbers in there. So now it says in line 10, in our PCLS option, if we typed in PCLS 6, we would get a different color. So in line 10, instead of just PCLS, if I typed in PCLS 6 and I run it, we're going to see a slightly different color. Now, okay, yeah, that's the color yellow on one mode, and it's the, I guess that's, I don't even know what color that is. Is that the, I guess that's the cyan, yeah, because it's not magenta or orange. So that's like their cyan. And because it's on a color computer emulator here, the color is not perfect, but you kind of get the idea, right? So PCLS 6 used the cyan color.
Hello, I am Paco Otecte, aka Drencor, and you are watching the original gamer, Stevie Stro.
Right, so 5 would be white, 6 would be cyan, 7 would be magenta, 8 would be orange. They've all got those numbers. So that's showing us that you can use the PCLS command to change the screen to one of the available colors. And so at this point, it says, here's the syntax for PCLS. PCLS color, 10 PCLS 6. Chapter 16 wasn't that bad. We learned 2 new commands. We learned the screen command. We learned the PCLS command. What are the takeaways from that? The takeaway is that you have 2 screen modes. You have screen 0, you have screen 1. Screen 0 is text, screen 1 is graphics. Each of those modes have 2 color palette options. So, you have screen 0, color 0. Color 0 would be green background. Color 1 would be orange background. With graphics, it's screen 1. Color 0 is green background. Color 1 is white background. So the screen mode switch you between graphics and text, and then the palette mode switches you either between the low order colors, which is always on a green background, or the high order colors, which is on the white background. So not bad, not bad. And so we did a little bit of an example, and we made it through the chapter, and nobody got hurt. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we got more to do. Make sure you give the video a like if you liked it. Throw out some comments. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you think about this series. And let me know if you are actually programming along at home and what you're doing right now, and maybe send me a picture or send me a link or something like that if you've got some demonstrations or some examples you can show me. All right, guys, I'm out of here for now, but we'll be back in Chapter 17. Keep on programming, everybody. Bye-bye.
RoboCop.
Ooh, RoboCop. Gotcha, sucker. This is not bad. Not bad at all. Yes, I did it. Oh, freaking right. Look at that. I made it past yellow belt. Very cool. Oh crap, I am getting the crap freaking bombed the hell out of me here. Okay, the square guy looks kind of like a puckering sphincter. Alright, there we go. Game over.
Oh, that didn't last long.
That's what she said. Okay, so I've got to jump over the spikes and under the ball.